Hey, everybody. Welcome back to Stats and Chats. I'm Jason.
And I'm Bella. This week we'll be looking at NFL coaching vacancies, NFL wildcard teams, and the college football playoff semifinals, as well as our past predictions and how those worked out for us.
Why are you smiling so much when you say that?
Because I did so good.
All right.
So bing, bang, boom. Let's get started.
There you go. All right. It is January 7th. We're recording midday, and a lot has happened over the last week, and we got a lot to cover today. Last time we all met, we were getting ready to pack up the car and head to the Citrus Bowl. What'd you think?
It was fun. Yeah, I liked it.
Was it what you expected?
Yes.
It was colder than I expected.
Well, yes.
Yes.
But like the game was what I expected.
Yeah.
You know, I watch football like every week. So.
Every week. Not all the games, because you're more of a highlight person.
Well, I'm a highlight person, but I just like to walk in, check the score, see what's going on, watch like 5 minutes, and then come back 10 minutes later, watch 5 minutes, move on.
Yes. Multitasking.
Yeah.
Yes. Well,
I got stuff to do.
It's a pretty common practice in our house.
Yeah.
Not sitting still, that is. All right. So is what you expected?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
What did you think of the two teams?
They were good. They were hype.
We sat in the Michigan side.
Yeah.
They were into it.
Yeah. They were kind of mean.
They were kind of mean?
Yeah. Like they screamed a lot at the refs.
Oh.
For no reason.
I mean, that's what everybody does, isn't it?
Okay.
Kind of.
Sure.
Okay. Oh, you're agreeable this week. I like that.
Well, I have to be open-minded to everyone's opinion.
Oh, my gosh. Okay. All right. So overall, good experience. Are you excited to go to your next football game whenever that happens to be?
Yes. Why wouldn't I be?
That's a great question. I don't have a good answer for you. No, it's good. I mean, it's not for everybody.
Yeah.
It was cold.
Yeah.
But we managed.
Yeah. Got
a cool sweatshirt that I immediately shrunk. Have you checked it? Is it too small now?
I mean, it's a little small. Still wear it.
Aren't like halter tops a thing though? Can you make it a halter top sweatshirt?
A halter top is a shirt that has like
the
straps go over the.
What's the part where you see your belly?
Like cropped?
Yeah, cropped.
I mean, no,
that's a thing.
You can't really make a sweatshirt cropped. You can make a shirt cropped.
But it's a thing.
It is a thing, but not with a hoodie.
Oh, I think you could do it. I think it's a good idea. Let's do that.
Yeah, let me just cut up that hoodie.
I mean, it's better. It's better than not being able to wear it.
Well, that's true, but I don't just want to cut something just to cut something.
Well, that's good. Because that would be a whole nother thing.
Okay, let's move on.
Hey, okay, let's move on. Topic number 1.
Yes.
NFL.
Yes.
So you want to talk about our prediction recap real quick before we dive into the latest news?
Yes.
All right, go ahead.
So I picked the Steelers to beat the Ravens, the Seahawks to beat the 49ers, and the Panthers to beat the Bucks. I got 2 out of 3 of those right.
2 out of 3 correct.
Which is pretty fire. And even though the Panthers lost, they still won their division because the Falcons also lost. So basically, I still won, if you think.
They did, yeah, I suppose. If you were picking the division winner, you still won.
Well, that's not what I was picking. But it's okay because they still won.
I'm trying to give it to you.
I mean, they didn't win, but like.
Yeah.
They won.
But they won. They're playing this week.
Yeah.
I don't know how much longer they'll be playing after this week, but they're playing.
Well, yeah, but they're playing this week.
So you were 2-1. Okay, let's move on.
No. We just have to highlight that you got nothing right.
I got
nothing right.
I was 0 for 3.
I was
0 for 3.
the winner.
But listen.
I was the winner.
The Ravens should have won that game.
Well, they didn't.
And I'm pretty sure John Harbaugh is saying that.
Then their
a lot today.
Coach got fired. So
okay.
Let's see this turn of events here.
The Niners.
The
Niners got kind of dominated by the Seahawks.
Yeah, because the Seahawks are the better team, which is exactly why I picked them, which is exactly why I won.
Panthers and Bucks. Yeah. So anyway, hey, good job on that.
Thank you. I know I'm pretty amazing.
Yeah. Well, you're pretty amazing despite that. But
thanks.
You're welcome.
So nice.
I know.
So
all right. So that was our recap. Lots of good games. Lots of big games with playoff implications that led to what is affectionately known around the NFL and the sports world as Black Monday, which is the first Monday after the last regular season NFL game of the season. And traditionally where teams immediately make moves with their coaches and other
Put them on the chopping
executives.
block. Pow.
I like to put it a little more gently, but yes. So this Monday had no shortage of moves. So just to run through and recap for those that have not been paying too much attention, Pete Carroll was one and done in Las Vegas. Atlanta let go of both Raheem Morris and Terry Fontenot, the head coach and general manager. They had the talent from what it looked like on paper, but obviously did not get it done. In the NFC South, the Cleveland Browns, after 6 seasons, let go of Kevin Stefanski. Jonathan Gannon let go from Arizona after 3 seasons. And then the biggest surprise of all, and the biggest name of all, John Harbaugh.
Not a surprise to me.
Okay. Let go from the Baltimore Ravens after 18 seasons.
Which is exactly why he was let go.
And
tell me how many Super Bowls they made in 18 seasons.
They won 1 Super Bowl.
In 18 seasons.
Okay. There's a lot of teams that have never been to the Super Bowl and have never, ever won a Super Bowl, but I digress.
That's its own separate issue.
It's fair. It's fair. It's fair. Hey.
I'm just saying. So,
yeah, after a heartbreaking loss, they had the chance to win the game as time expired against Pittsburgh, but missed wide right. Missed their game-winning field goal wide right as time expired, and so too has John Harbaugh's time expired in Baltimore. That was pretty well said. That was pretty poetic there.
So poetic.
On the safe list, a couple of other coaches that were thought to be in jeopardy. Indianapolis Colts decided to keep both their head coach and Chris Ballard, their general manager. And in Cincinnati, Zach Taylor lives to fight another year.
That one is surprising to me because literally that team just has such high expectations of them every single year. Every single year, everyone's like, oh, the Bengals are going to the Super Bowl. They're making the Super Bowl every single year, and they never do. Their
best player was out almost the whole season.
Yes, but you should never rely on one player for a good team.
I think that's a great lesson.
Just saying.
That every single one of these teams.
Let's talk about Patrick Mahomes. Let's bring it back. Talk about relying on one player for a good team.
Okay.
Just saying.
Oh, speaking of that, not to go way off on a sidetrack.
You're going to talk about Travis Kelce and their wedding date. This already
No, I'm
happened.
not. Shared on his podcast this week that he still has the fire. So it is not a done deal that he is retiring yet by any means. He is taking some time to be, quote unquote, a normal human being and make the decision. But it sounds like he is definitely considering coming back. Anyway, back to Black Monday. So Zach Taylor survives for at least one more season. The biggest reason why he is staying is Joe Burrow's support from everything that I've read. Joe Burrow is a huge fan and supporter of Zach Taylor. And so, yeah, one more year. And then obviously previously, before the end of the season, both Brian Dable and Brian Callahan were let go from the New York Giants and Tennessee Titans. So there are a lot of openings and a lot of changes coming to a lot of football teams with the end of the season and the draft just a few months away. So all that said, we could talk about a lot of different topics around this. But as of today, Bella, if you were the number one head coach on the list looking for a new gig, which team are you going to?
Okay, so I have 2 options, but they're for 2 different coaches. So, depending on the coach, I have 2 different teams.
Okay.
If that makes sense. I'll explain a little.
Can't wait.
Right now. So, first one, I say the Ravens.
Okay.
And this is attractive to the swagger coach. The coach that has everything. They got the swag. They want Lamar Jackson. They want to be the coach of a team that already has a name for itself.
Okay.
And so, they have room for a lot of growth, a lot of development, and they want to win as a team, and Baltimore fans want to see them win. So for those purposes, they are the most attractive to that kind of coach.
Okay.
And they have Lamar Jackson, who's arguably one of the best quarterbacks right now, and they have a really good roster, so they're not lacking in the talent department. They just need some better coaching and some better management. That's my first one. And then my second one is the Raiders, because they have a lot of potential to grow and get real weapons, because I don't think that they have enough of them. So with the right coaching style, the right kind of weapons, they have the number 1 pick. and they have enough room money-wise to be able to afford other players. And I think that's where you're going to see them. Like, if they can make smart moves with that money and try and get some free agencies, that kind of thing outside of the draft, I think that's really, really going to help them. So I think if you're looking at a coach that wants to start from scratch and rebuild a team and make a team that isn't well known for football at the moment, like more popular, then I think that's what's most attractive, because they have like the room money wise to be able to rebuild.
Yes.
Whereas like a lot of the other teams that could have a rebuild don't have the money for it. So
okay,
that's kind of my process behind it.
Very interesting. I like it. So I have a question, and then I'm going to give you mine. You said two different coaches, two different types of coaches, right? So when you say the swagger coach, what does that mean?
So,
and how does that differ from the coach that you would recommend for the Raiders?
So, when we were talking about, what's that one coach? The LSU coach?
The new one? Yes.
And we were talking about where he's going to go. And you were saying Florida because they have the swagger, they have
that's the
kind of vibe.
That's Lane Kiffin. So that's the one that went to LSU from Ole Miss.
Yeah, that's the one I was talking about.
Okay.
And then we were debating on where he was going to go. I picked LSU. You picked Florida because you were saying like Florida has that swagger. They have that like. I'm not saying it can't be the same.
A little cocky.
Yeah, but I'm saying for the coach that's used to winning, the coach that's used to
interesting,
that kind of thing.
Okay.
Not in a bad way. I don't think it's a good or a bad. I think it's just different.
Just part of his personality.
Yeah, exactly. Hers. So I'm just thinking in terms of a coach that's used to winning, a coach that came from an already okay to good program, that spot is ideal for that because they have Lamar Jackson.
Has proven themselves potentially already as a head coach.
Exactly.
Okay.
So I think they have Lamar Jackson, they have weapons, they have dedicated fans, they want to win. So that's where you would go if that's what you want.
Okay.
But then I think the Raiders, for like a coach that maybe has been around for a while, just kind of doing their thing, but wants to rebuild a team and kind of get to that dynasty level, I think that's where they would go, if that makes a little more sense.
It's good. I like that analysis.
Thank you.
I think that's really cool.
Thank you. Because I can't pick one. There are too many spots, and I think it's just very dependent on which coach it is.
Yeah. So just full transparency to our amazing audience, we don't know what each other is going to say, what our answers are before we record. So I don't know if we've shared that officially or not, but we don't. We draft up kind of our own questions and what we want to talk about, and then we do our own thing. So I selected two teams as well, and I selected the same two teams. So, and I'm going to get to those in just a second, and I promise I'm not going to go off too much here. But there are a lot of, I mean, every one of these is attractive for different reasons. Why, right? One of the things that I've read is actually the Giants.
That was going to be if I was going to pick a third one, I was going to pick them because Jackson Dart is a really good quarterback.
You got Scadaboo coming back.
Exactly.
Who was huge and young, and they've got cap room. So the Giants are in there as well. I picked, before last night, it was the Raiders, and then we got the news about Harbaugh. So for me, I put the Ravens at the top of my list as well. A lot of the same reasons you said, right? They have a former MVP, a quarterback. They've got one of the best running backs in the league in Derrick Henry. Lamar is locked in through 2027. I think that there is some conversation about him wanting to renegotiate, but he's locked in. You've got a great roster behind them. I selected them to be the division winner at the beginning of the season, as many did.
Because their roster shows that they should have that.
Compete for the Super Bowl, right? Yeah. So they got Kyle Hamilton, one of the best safeties in football. They got Roquan Smith, all-pro linebacker, and he's locked into a contract. They've got a number one wide receiver in Zay Flowers. So they've got a roster. They've got a good roster. They've got 11 projected draft picks also in this year's draft. Part of that is as compensation from free agency and trades in the past. They've got $40 million in cap space. You've got players there that have won, that want to win. I think, it's interesting. I hadn't really thought about it in the same way that you did around somebody with swagger, but you definitely need somebody with confidence, like
you have to have
average
confidence
head coach
if you want to go there.
confidence, because you're going in to lead players that have done it.
Yeah.
Right. You're not going in. And this is where, in my mind, this is where the two opportunities are so different, right? Because you've got that in Baltimore. So slam dunk, to me, that's the most attractive because they are the closer.
And I also think that's where you have to look at Ben Johnson with the Bears. He wouldn't fit there, in my opinion, because he's good at that rebuilding
He's a builder.
thing. He likes to rebuild. He likes to get the new weapons.
And he wants it done his way.
Rebuild.
And he's a teacher.
Exactly. He wants it done his way.
Yeah.
Where you can't do that on a team like Baltimore that has their roster. They have their way set.
That's right.
They just need someone to execute it correctly.
Yeah.
So
I think it's really, really smart observation. So with Vegas, everything you said, right? They've got a couple of great standout players, right? They got Ashton Genty, who, even though he was basically silent this year, not his fault. Let's not forget, he is a year out, just a year removed from running over 2,600 yards with 29 touchdowns in his last season at Boise State. They moved up to get him.
Yeah.
Right?
Well, and you also have to remember that he didn't even do bad this season, given the conditions that he was in.
Yeah.
So yes, he's not Saquon Barkley who last season.
But he has the potential to do that and more. He has the potential to do that and more. And he's going into his second year. You got Brock Bowers, one of the best tight ends in football. You've got Max Crosby, one of the best defensive players in football. And he's only 28. So
they have a young roster.
You've got some great building blocks. Yeah. You have over $100 million in cap space. You've got 10 draft picks. You got the number 1 overall pick again. So, but to your point, this is a roster that needs a builder.
Yeah, they need a Ben Johnson.
They need a teacher. They need somebody that is going to focus on teaching and coaching and creating accountability and a culture around every single detail. And it's a different job. It is a different role. So cool. We agreed on both. I like that.
That's kind of funny.
I like that. And I really like how you broke it down.
Thank you.
Good stuff. So we'll see. It's going to be exciting to watch and talk about it over the coming weeks, because a lot of big decisions to make for these billion-dollar businesses. So, all right. That all said, we got some big games to play this weekend.
Can I talk about them?
Well, yeah, please.
Okay, so Saturday we have NFC Rams versus Panthers. Your number 5 seed, your number 4 seed. Let's see who wins. Second game on Saturday, you also have NFC Packers versus Chicago. Your number 2 seed versus your number 7 seed. I hope the Bears win. Sunday, you have AFC Bills, Jaguars, NFC Niners, Eagles, AFC Chargers, Patriots. Monday, you have the Texans and the Steelers. Pretty fire lineup, if I do say so myself.
Pretty fire lineup. I think there's potential for a lot of close games here, with the exception of one, and that's the first one to kick us off on Saturday: the Rams versus the Panthers.
Yeah.
Because NFC. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So my question for you:
let's do it.
Which wild card team will make it the very farthest in the playoffs?
Yep. So,
I feel like we might not pick the same team.
Well, we'll see. In the back of my head, especially this time of year, there's always a voice.
There's always a voice.
There's always a voice. And you know what that voice says?
What does that voice say?
That voice says, defense wins championships.
Yes.
Defense wins championships.
Yes.
That's what it says. So with that in mind and in that spirit, I have a lot of different opinions about what's going to happen in the playoffs, but the answer to this question, which wild card team is going to make it the furthest, the answer is the Houston Texans. And here's why. And I'm just going to start.
They were my second choice because of that, but
yeah. I mean, listen, there's lots of choices. Yeah. Quick reminder: the Houston Texans lost their first 3 games of the season. They were 0-3, where a lot of people, including me, picked them to win their division. They started the season off 0-3, and we were like, what happened to Houston? They finished the season winning their last 9 games, including wins against the Jags and the Bills. So let's just start with the fact, if anybody's got momentum, it's hard to argue it's not the Houston Texans.
Yeah.
All right, a couple of other stats to back up my correct answer. They don't have the same offense that they have in the past, right? CJ Stroud has kind of come back to planet Earth and reality a little bit, but they allowed only 17.4 points per game this season, making them the stingiest defense in the entire AFC. They have the best pass rush duo in football, Danielle Hunter, Will Anderson Jr. combined for 27 sacks between the two of them. Their secondary, they've got 3 different ball hawks in their secondary, all with 4 interceptions each this season, right? CJ Stroud, while he's not putting up career highs, 19 TDs, just 8 interceptions. They got Nico Collins, true number 1 wide receiver, over 1,000 yards, averaging 16 yards per catch through the regular season. And then in the backfield, they've got Woody Marks and Nick Chubb combining for over 1,000 yards rushing. They have the second best turnover differential in all of football, only behind
Bears
with plus 17. Number 1 scoring defense in the AFC. CJ Stroud protects the ball, strong running game, strong passing game, not the best, but they're responsible on offense, and they are maniacal and dominating on defense. The Texans make it the furthest in the wild.
Cool beans, Brosito.
There you go. What do you got?
The 49ers.
Yeah, 49ers.
Okay, this is complicated for me because I was going to pick the Texans,
Yes.
actually. But then I was like, okay, like their defense is amazing, but if you can't score points, then the defense doesn't matter.
Again?
So you just kind of have to like look at it that way. I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm just saying like when it came to my brain, I was like, if you don't score anything, then defense doesn't matter.
You got to score.
You got to score. So yeah. So I picked the 49ers because they were already able to beat some of the people that won their divisions. So that's already a little bonus for them. They know that they can win against other division leaders. They also have a lot of playoff experience. This is part of why I picked them. You talk about Brock Purdy, Christian McCaffrey. They know how to play playoff games, which I think a lot of these teams, they are a little bit younger when you talk about that. And you talk about playoff experience, like the Jags, the Texans, even the Chargers and the Rams don't have that much playoff experience.
Yep.
But these guys are veterans. They know what they're doing. They have a good head coach. I think if their defense comes back to defense, their defense is not as consistent as it should be. So if their defense can play well and do their job, then they'll make it to the Super Bowl. They have the offense for that. Their defense is very, very hit or miss. They have discipline and penalties. They have one of the highest third down conversion ratings in the league.
Yep.
So when you look at their offense, they've got it.
Yep.
It's the defense.
Yeah.
So if they can get past the Eagles, if their defense plays well, I think they're set.
Yeah.
So
listen, there's an argument without a doubt. I would have picked, last week I picked the Niners to
beat the Seahawks.
And they got beaten down by the Seahawks.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. Like
there's an argument they're so injured. They're so injured. And they're missing some key players on the offensive and defensive side of the ball. Kittle was back last week. The offense never really got going, but how much of that was the offense or the Seahawks defense last week? And they couldn't stop the Seahawks. But again, the Seahawks top 2 in both offense and defense. So it's, I don't know, man. Maybe it's just inevitable. But no, there's a clear path for the Niners. So you like them over the Eagles in Philly this weekend? You have to,
I
right?
just think Philly can pull it together.
Yeah.
I'm not saying they can't. But they haven't done it when they should have a lot of the season. They lost a lot of key games for no reason. So they're not reliable enough for me to pick them. Their offense, listen, their defense is good. Not the best, not the worst. It's good. But their offense is so inconsistent right now.
So inconsistent.
Like they either have their team last year or it's like the Chiefs this year.
Yeah.
It's like you don't know which one you're going to get. So I feel like the 49ers offense is consistent. I think their offense is pretty consistent. Their defense isn't, but they can score.
Yeah.
So we didn't see that last week against the Seahawks, but I think that was mostly.
We have most of the
defense.
season.
So it's
fascinating. I heard a stat about the Eagles earlier today. One of the key indicators of an Eagles victory this year is Jalen Hurts passing over 200 yards. If he passes over 200 yards, they have a better chance of losing.
Because he has to run the ball.
And Saquon has to run the ball.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because they're not a passing team.
AJ,
they're a rushing team at this point.
They are. Yeah.
And
AJ Brown hasn't.
Yeah. And because Jalen Hurts can get out of the pocket, and when he runs, he runs.
Right.
Like, he's not a slow guy.
Yeah.
So
but if he has to pass.
If he has to pass
and they can't run it or don't run it, and they lose. So fascinating. It's going to be one of the great games this weekend.
Yeah.
All right. So you say Niners. I say Texans. We'll see where it goes.
Yes.
This will be some good football. Good football. All right. Next topic, the CFP. We are down to the final four. So I'm going to give a couple of ratings stats real quick because we haven't talked about ratings in a while before we dive into predictions. 12-team playoff era. This is year 2. Quarterfinal ratings were up 14% year over year, driven by a massive showing from the Indiana-Alabama game. By the numbers, the Rose Bowl, which was Indiana-Alabama, almost 24 million viewers, up 13% over last year's Oregon-Ohio State game. In the Cotton Bowl, they drew 19 million viewers. Sugar Bowl, Ole Miss, and Georgia, 18.7. And then the only one of the 4 matchups that was slightly down versus last year, not surprisingly because of the matchup, Oregon and Texas Tech, which drew 15.9 million. So for the CFP so far, both rounds combined, ratings are up over 3% year over year.
Pretty fire.
Some good matchups. Quarterfinal recap: 2 good games and 2 boring games.
2 boring games.
Where we end up is with the semifinals, which is this week. They start tomorrow. When you listen to this, it will be today with Miami, number 10, meeting number 6, Ole Miss in the Fiesta Bowl. And then on Friday night, it is the rematch, Indiana versus Oregon in the Peach Bowl. Bella Taliaferro, who wins each game?
Okay, so first game, Miami wins. They have the confidence for it because they just beat Ohio State. They also have the momentum for it because they just beat Ohio State. Ole Miss has some momentum, but they didn't get it going very early.
Yeah.
And it just felt not powerful enough. I don't know if that's the right word, but just didn't feel. They were fighting at the end, fighting, but I don't think that gives you the confidence that you need. You don't want to have to fight till the very last second in the playoffs. Even you look at Miami and Ohio State, they were not fighting at the very end. Miami also has one of the top defensive lines. I think it'll put pressure on Ole Miss, and they lead in sacks. So I think that also their defense helps to control the pace of the game. So that's going to be a really, really big advantage for Miami going into this game because defense wins championships.
There you go.
So I think that'll really help. And then obviously Carson Beck, really positive impact, not only the team as a whole and how they play, but I also think the culture and the drive, he has a really good impact on that. So they're going to come out this week and be ready to bring it.
Let me ask you a question. I picked Miami as well, and for a lot of the same reasons, and I'll elaborate in just a second. So one of the things that I think is an advantage for Ole Miss is the fact that Lane Kiffin left them.
Yeah.
Right? End of the season, going into the playoffs, number 6 team in the nation, and he walked away. And he took a bunch of coaches with him and then sent them back and said that they could coach. I still don't know how many of them are coming back to coach this game or not. So I believe that the coaching staff and the athletic director have successfully created the narrative that your coach left you.
Yeah.
What are you going to do about it? Right. And so I think that it has created motivation, a chip on your shoulder. Listen, we're here. We're top 10 team. Right.
Yeah.
We crushed it all season. And we got a chance to win the national championship. Yeah, our head coach took off.
Yeah.
But that doesn't change who I am as a person or a player. So I think that that's a competitive advantage for Ole Miss. It's in their heart, right? It's dude, you leave me, I'll show you, right? How much of that do you think factors in as an athlete?
I think it does, but then I also think you have to look at the same chip on your shoulder talking about Miami.
Yeah.
Because they just beat Ohio State.
Sure.
which is something that they were kind of robbed from.
Thank you.
So
Yes.
you just
But
if
they
you're-
did that. Now what's the next motivation?
Well, now it's okay, you got rid of them. Now let's just make it to the national championship.
Sure.
That kind of thing.
Yeah.
So I think yes, it's not that game. But I think now it becomes, we did that. This is like, come on, let's just get this done. Let's do the job.
Finish the job.
Yeah. So to me, I think it is an advantage for Ole Miss, but then you also have to look at it from, because Miami, now they're playing for a national championship. They're not just playing to be at Ohio State. They're playing to win.
Right.
So I think it does factor in, but not, you can't only look at Ole Miss and that in your heart version, because Miami has the exact
They have motivation too.
Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah.
It's interesting.
I think it factors in, but not as much as like one might think.
I hope so.
I
hope you're right. So yeah, I'm picking Miami as well. They're favored by 2.5 as of today. And it kind of begins and ends with their defense. Just a few stats to support, a few extra stats. It held Ohio State to just 248 total yards last week, 3.8 yards per play. That compares to their season average of over 450 yards. So almost half of what their average was for the season at Ohio State. They recorded 6 sacks, 12 QB pressures against the Buckeyes as well. They dominated the line, right? The Hurricanes held Ohio State to 213 on third downs, and they've been +4 in turnover margin in the playoffs. So the plan for Miami is pretty simple. It is dominate and suffocate on defense, and Carson Beck, don't turn the ball over, because they do have weapons. They've got some great receivers. CJ Johnson. They've got a great running game. So they're built to win, suffocate, and dominate on defense against a run and gun Ole Miss offense. They showed that against Georgia. They were impressive. And then take care of the ball and put together some good, hard, consistent drives with little mistakes, no turnovers, and they should win. All right, game 2. Number 1, Indiana, the rematch. Number 1, Indiana, number 5, Oregon. A reminder, they played earlier this season in Oregon, and Indiana handed Oregon the first loss of the year. So, Bowl, Indiana's favored by 3.5. Who you got?
Indiana. As much as I picked Oregon to make it the farthest,
and they've made it
this season, and I think they've really done it. But Indiana has better offense. They're undefeated, and I don't think they're ready to just let that go right now. I don't think they're going to lose their first game of the season to
Oregon. In a rematch.
In a rematch. I don't think they're going to let that happen. I think Mendoza is just about the best quarterback that a team can ask for at this point. Do you think that this will be a lower scoring game just because of Oregon's defense? Because I do think they have really good defense. I just don't think their offense is on the same level. So, yeah. I mean, Indiana has the number 2 scoring defense, one of the best executed rushing games, a lot of defensive pressure. I just don't think that Oregon is going to beat them. I mean, that sounds...
You think it's going to...
I mean, I'm not saying it's going to be close like Ole Miss and Georgia, but it's not going to be 23-0. It's not... I don't think it's going to be...
Think it'll be within a touchdown?
I would say 2-scoring game.
So 10 points.
So 10 points. So, I mean, that is kind of a lot, but at the same time, like, compared to the...
I'm surprised.
Compared to the 23-0 and 38-3, like, I don't think it's going to be Indiana versus Alabama. I don't think it's going to be that.
Yeah.
So, in the grand scheme of things, 10 points is, like, not that bad.
Yeah.
I mean, still 2 scores, but...
Yeah. Okay.
That's just my opinion.
Yeah, man, it's hard to pick against Indiana.
Yeah.
Right? They are scary good. Scary good. Like you said, Mendoza, 36 passing TDs this season, school record, over 72% completion rate. They averaged 8.2 yards per play against Alabama.
Yeah.
I mean,
basically first down.
It didn't look like a playoff game.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, they went 5 for 5 in the red zone against Alabama. 0 turnovers, 0 penalties.
That's impressive.
So I hope it's a close game.
Yeah.
But you can't pick against.
Yeah, no, you can't.
You can't
they're
pick
just,
against.
They're just too good.
Indiana. All right, so we are aligned on those 2 picks. We'll see starting tomorrow night.
Yes.
I am nervous. All right, locker room. What do you got? What do you got in the locker room this week? I have too much stuff, but that's a good thing.
Well, first thing is I have less homework than usual.
Oh, that's good.
Second thing...
Especially coming back, right?
Yeah. Second thing, winter training is over, so I'm happy.
And you survived.
Third thing.
And you get a sweatshirt.
Yes.
When's that coming?
I don't know. Third thing, Legos.
Oh,
Just
yeah.
Legos.
You are a Legoaholic.
I love, yeah.
And you've built all that you got.
No, I didn't finish building the
new
Lily
flower.
yet.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Haven't finished that one. Taking
Okay.
my sweet time.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's good.
Thank you.
Good way to start the year.
Thank you.
Yeah. All right. I got a couple. I'm all over the place. But I'll make it quick. I promise.
Okay.
All right. So first couple things I want to talk about: the Unrivaled Basketball League in their second season. That is the 3-on-3 women's basketball league. Just started last week. I'm excited that they started. I want to watch a little bit of that. It is formatted very differently. The fourth quarter is not timed. It is about achieving a certain score based on what the score is going into the fourth quarter. So very, very cool. Paige Bueckers is playing this year. I think with so many issues that have not been resolved around salary cap and things like that in the WNBA, I think that this is kind of a cool alternate, and there's a lot of buzz and excitement around it. So I'm excited to see how that progresses this year. As well, the TGL Golf League. So this is, I don't know if you've seen any of this. This started last year, was their first year. It's basically indoor golf. So it's like indoor kind of virtual golf. It was launched by Rory and Tiger. It's televised. It's on ESPN during the cold months. Different teams, pro players play each other. And it did well for its first season. So they're back for season 2, and they just announced this week that they are launching a women's TGL tour as well. So I'm excited to see how those things go. Something cool and different, and I think could be fun to watch. My highlight of the week, I'm going to post this on our Instagram later today. This is old school. This is my world, right? Do you even know who Chris Berman is? You're going to say no. Okay. So he's kind of the OG ESPN football guy.
Mm-hmm.
So like OG, like back when it started.
Like OG.
Like, yes, OG. And he is famous for his replays of highlights from NFL games. It's one of his calling cards. You hear his voice, you know who he is. It's amazing. It gets you fired up. He's still with ESPN, kind of. He does some online stuff and YouTube stuff, not on the main channel much anymore. There was a highlight of Laura Rutledge, who is...
Is it her running across the field?
Yes, during the Sugar Bowl.
I saw that.
Yes,
during she's like running across the field in her heels.
In her heels.
Trying to get over to the halftime. Bro, I was literally like, yes, queen.
Yes, it's amazing. It's fantastic on its own, but then you put Chris Berman calling the play-by-play of what she's doing. It's magic. So I'm going to post it. That is my highlight of the week. It is just plain fun. And then finally, just some happy stress this weekend. I got 2 teams playing in playoff games. One is tomorrow night. One is Saturday night for the first time in a long time. So happy that they're there, and stressed because I want them to keep winning. And then finally, just appreciation, personal note. It also happens to be on Saturday, me and hotpodmom.com's 17th anniversary. And, just another reminder of why I am so lucky and she is so amazing. A lot of times we'll go away for our anniversary weekend. This weekend we are not, for a number of different reasons. And then it just so happened that the Bears got into the playoffs and are playing on Saturday night. And very unselfishly and very thoughtfully, Hot Pod Mom priority is, where can we be to watch the playoff game on Saturday? And I am very fortunate to have such a wonderful partner. And I'm very lucky. So that's all my locker room stuff. It's all good. It's all good, happy stuff.
Yes.
Yes.
I looked it up for you. The last time that the Bears and Miami was in the playoffs at the same time. You want to take a guess?
2009?
2001.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
There you go.
There were times when Miami played a bowl game.
Yep.
But
not the national championship. It's been a long time. There you go. 25
Fun facts
years.
For you.
Thank you.
You're very welcome.
So yeah, that's it. You want to take us home?
Yeah. Make sure to follow us on Instagram, TikTok, Threads, listen on Spotify or Apple Podcasts. You can watch us on YouTube, which if you're hearing this now, you're most likely doing one of the 3. Make sure to leave a comment, leave feedback. We love to hear it. All good things. I think that's it.
Yeah.
Thank
a
you
lot
for
of listening to
listening.
start the years. Thanks, everybody. See you next week.
Bye.
Bye.